tonight. Just want to do this video and get it out of the way, whatever the Most High leads me to make videos about. So, as the title says, be not deceived. We're going to get into a lot of things in this video. And get into a lot of things. Because as I said, whatever God leads me to make videos about, I will make videos about. And from the thumbnail alone, two of those images were taken from videos that are spreading lies and teaching false teachings and basically teaching nonsense. So that's why I used it in the thumbnail. One of them is from Gnosticism, the first image with the 33. Second image is from a supposed Christian that is now ex and now basically just promotes Luciferianism and self-enlightenment, be your own God. So that's where that's from. So, and you got many of these channels. This is why the Bible says to us, be not deceived, because you got many false teachers out there today. You really have. You got many of them promoting lies, deception, false teachings, telling people utter nonsense that's lies. And God even said that if it was possible to deceive the very elect, like we're gonna find out on the 25th, and I'll be here tomorrow to laugh. That's if everything goes well. I mean, we all know it's not going to. So this is why I say I'm going to get into a lot of things in this video. We all know the world's not going to end tomorrow. We know it's not going to happen. We're going to see that tomorrow, that the world is not going to end. We're going to see that. We honestly are. Be not deceived. Don't be deceived by false teachers. Here's the thing how to not be deceived. If someone that's a prophet prophesies dreams, visions, and as it says as well, not every dream, vision is from God. It even says this, pay no attention to the God said to the Israelites, we'll just show it before we get into this. So what was it? So I think it was prophet. False visions. As it says, false visions and prophecy are deceptive messages, often from a prophet's own mind or evil, promising peace or prosperity, but leading people astray, contrary to Scripture, and causing spiritual harm. Jesus said this to the Israelites. The Most High said this to the Israelites. So don't listen to these prophets, the lies, deceivers. We're going to find that out tomorrow. We're honestly going to find out tomorrow that it's just another false prophet. We're going to see that tomorrow. Because anyone with common sense, this is what it said, people will dream false dreams, will dream false visions, and they won't happen. It says in the Bible that they'll dream dreams of their own imagination. That's all it is. Just imagination. If it's from God directly, you compare it in the Bible, Daniel, you see many of the prophets, Isaiah, that's a true vision from God. True vision. As I said, we'll see tomorrow, won't we? So just wanted to bring that up. As warned in the Bible by figures like Jeremiah and Ezekiel, who condemn prophets speaking vain words or lying divinations, which divination is witchcraft, instead of God's truth, emphasizing the need to test prophecies by their fruits and adhere to sound doctrine. Self-origin, they come from the prophets of own imagination or heart, not from God. They offer false security, like promising peace when judgment is coming, and use deceptive language. They lead people away from God into idolatry. And the thing that this guy is doing anyway, we're not just talking about this, is what I said, we are going to get into a lot of things, and we're going to get into that image in the thumbnail. He's literally deceived so many people. In reality, they're a scammer and a con artist, because these people, just like many of these pastors, have scammed people and deceived people into giving them money. That's what it is. And these people are going to see tomorrow, when the world does not end, that this guy was just a false prophet. This is why, again, if people actually read the Bible and actually read the Bible, they wouldn't be deceived. This is why God says, stay vigilant. How is stay vigilant? Reading the Word. Staying in a vigilant mindset, being on guard. You can't be on guard if you are not reading the Bible. You are not going to know what the devil is going to do. He lies, he manipulates, spreads false doctrine. God condemns prophets who prophesy out of their own imagination and promises judgment against those who speak lying divinations. Jeremiah warns against false prophets who speak visions from their minds, saying, I did not send them, and urge people to discern truth from lies. Advises recognizing false prophets by their fruit, comparing them to diseased trees bearing bad fruit. Commands believers to believe not every spirit, but try the spirits whether they are of God. But that seems to be a problem today. People just believe anything. So someone just says, oh, I had a vision from God. They just straight up believe it and don't test it. They'll say, oh, I got a vision from God. Doesn't happen. They prophecy and say a prophecy is going to happen. It doesn't happen. There's so many, and this is why I believe certain apps like TikTok should be banned. Because it's very obvious rage bait and just scam. Because there's so many people. There's even, they've even got kids doing it now. They even got a kid, no doubt, the mother would have said to the kid on camera, hey, just say this lying thing. So a bunch of gullible Christians that don't actually read the Bible believe it. Supposedly some kid had a dream and a vision that the earth was going to be flooded by a massive tsunami. Man, get out of here with this garbage. Seriously. It's just nonsense. False prophets, man. Absolute devils. Lying. Absolute liars. The world is not going to end by a tsunami or water. That's just facts. If a tsunami ever does happen, it's most likely the Illuminati. But yeah, just wanted to show that first. Now we go to this. And this is why I'm saying here, be not deceived. This is what I told you about independent rappers and stuff like that. Just give me a second. Yeah, just want to check that the sound's all right. Like, I know nobody's really gonna support this video. I don't really care. Like, not really surprised anymore, to be honest. But whatever. What? So what I talked about, these people that say they're independent rappers. They say they're independent rappers, and yet this is a symbolism that they promote. Do not be deceived. Anyone that calls themselves an independent rapper and then is promoting the Illuminati and Illuminati symbolism is a devil. Not gonna name who this rapper is. This is just an example. Anyone that calls themselves independent and that they are not working for the Illuminati or whatever, and then continues to throw the exact same symbolism up that is known in the occult, they're a deceiver. Test them by their fruits. No Christian, no independent rapper that isn't part of the system, and again, rap music anyway. How I listened to that trash in the first place, I never know. When you are fully awake, you realize how garbage rap music actually is. Every song is just the same. And a lot of rappers anyway are just reprobates. They really are. They have no care for authority. They're like, oh, F the police, we do whatever we want. And then they spend the rest of their life in prison. They're reprobates. It's what they are. They have no form of authority at all. That's the form of a reprobate. They have no form of law and order. They think they can go around doing whatever they want, saying F the police this. It's just the agenda, and I'm glad that I woke up to the rap industry. It's nothing but nonsense. Every single rapper's the same. Rapping about drugs, women, and stuff like that. Oh, I live in the streets. Laughable, while the elite are laughing. The rap industry, if you knew anything, was created by a lot of them have sold out to the white man, which is laughable. So again, the symbolism's right there. The black and white, Freemasonry, Masonic floor, with like a sweat or something, with the black and white symbolism again. And this whole song is just full of sexualization. That's all it is. You're all guys, I'm an independent rapper, guys, I follow God. None of these rappers follow God, none of them do. They're all reprobates, all of them are. You cannot claim to be Christian and follow God and then continue to promote rap music, which is nothing but garbage. Tell me any rapper that glorifies God. None, because it's worldly garbage music. That's why I said, be not deceived. These people expose themselves. The symbolism's there. Oh, I'm independent, yeah, I'm going to use Illuminati symbolism through all of my music videos, but I'm not one of them, guys. Wake up. And then again, look at this. And again, I don't know why I keep getting these. Look at this. We know what this is. So as I said, these people claim to be independent rappers, right? They claim to be independent rappers. Yet they've got a Baphomet, the Baphomet, and this song starts off, and the song's called Poison. And he's sat around basically doing a ritual while wearing the Baphomet. But oh guys, I'm not one of them. Be not deceived. And this looks like a new version of the Baphomet. It has 1, 2, 3, 4. Suddenly it has 4 arms. So this looks like a new version of the Baphomet. Or maybe it's just the crappy quality. So, And then again, there's a clearer view of it. You can clearly see what it is. He makes, this is how the music video starts. There's no saying, oh, this is just stuff like this. Why would you wear a Baphomet hoodie? And this was clearly most likely custom made, or it the Luciferian seller. Because why would you wear something that you are supposedly against? Oh, I pray to God, I'm a rapper, I pray to God, God save me. No, he didn't save you at all, you're a liar, you're a deceiver, no one's falling for it. We have the same people in the industry. Oh, my name's The Weeknd, I'm a Christian, I'm a born again Christian, guys. And then he starts going around smashing stuff up, and then it smashes the cross up, and then in the next song brags about how much money he makes. Wake up. These people ain't Christian. They're using the name of Christ to further deceive people and get money. Because that's what they do. Because this is the problem today with many Christians as well. Someone says a Christian, they don't examine the fruits or anything, they just believe them. A Satanist could say that. Even Satanists know that Jesus Christ and God exist. Are they followers of God? No. This is why God says, be vigilant, study, stop falling for the deception. None of these rappers are Christian, and none of them follow God. None of them do. Because we've seen what the rap industry is about. It's about drugs, money, women, all worldly crap. Tell me a single rapper that there's many rappers that I can name that claim to follow God. Eminem, not once in his songs does he ever praise God. Travis Scott, Big Sean, when he said in that song, blessings upon blessings, we know what God these people pray to. They admitted it in the song Blessings, 666. Where they go, I just got to thank God that I got it, blessings upon blessings. It's not blessings from God, it's blessings from the devil. That's what you got to understand in the industry. They do not worship the same. When they refer to God, they are not referring to the same God that Christians worship, Judaism worship. They are, and in Islam, they're not referring to the same God. It's the devil. Because the devil offers you things in this world. Money, women, power, fame. No Christian prays for worldly stuff. That's how you know. That's why Jesus and the Most High said, test them by the fruits. No Christian would be praying for and calling the stuff of the world a blessing. Especially women, sleeping with multiple women and money and stuff like that. That's stuff of the world. That's vanity. Yes, God can bless you, but the rappers are not blessed by God, the sellouts. Now, there may be a few that follow God, but very few that I've found. And hello, welcome to the stream. So this was the one from the thumbnail. What does it say? Harness. It says harness this, and then it has a pentagram that says power, and it's just an hour long. Didn't watch it. I'm not going to watch it. Of this nonsense. Basically, these certain individuals promote that you are your own God, There's no such thing as the devil. There's no such thing as God. That's what they say in the videos, because I've watched a lot of the videos. They also teach Gnosticism. They really do these people want to make up their mind what they believe. One minute they say the devil. One minute they say you are your own God. Which is it? It's just nonsense. That's all it is. It's just nonsense. And no, the pentagram is not a form of power, and it is not a form of energy either. It is a satanic symbol. Read this before continuing. Well, Europe is sold out. Sold out a long time ago. I mean, you look at the image. I'm sure people remember that old image from the United Nations where it showed the Tower of Babel and multiple stars. So yeah, Europe ain't going back to being great. Same as the United Kingdom. The United Kingdom's just overrun by other religions, which is absolutely laughable. That's why nobody should be a patriot either, because all these countries have sold out. And we'll get into that as well, the religions, because they promote nonsense as well. So we all know what the pentagram refers to. It refers to Satanism, Luciferianism. It's used in witchcraft. It is not a symbol of God. It is also connected to the star of Rephaim, the star of Molech, pentagram. It's all connected to the Baphomet, Beelzebub. There's multiple names. This is not a good symbol. It never has been. It's never been used for good. It's always been used for witchcraft. Even the Satanic Temple uses this symbol because they know what it means. So don't believe the nonsense when someone says that this is a symbol of empowerment. It's not. It's a satanic symbol to basically channel and summon demons. Why do you think it's used in games like Doom? Because it's a satanic symbol. Also, these certain people in Gnosticism as well teach that you can save yourself. It's just the same thing in another religion. They believe that on Judgment Day, we all know what religion I'm talking about. They believe on Judgment Day, when they stand before God, that you are judged upon your works, that if you do a certain amount of good works, then you're going to paradise. If you do a certain amount of bad deeds and it outweighs the good deeds, you go to hell. That's what they believe. Also, they believe certain people that are of certain get protection immediately. This nonsense, honestly, it really is. Also, these same religions deny the crucifixion, which is complete deception. Anyone that denies the crucifixion and denies that Jesus is the Son of God and just downgrades him to a prophet is a deceiver and a false religion. That is a basic thing. Anyone that denies the crucifixion is a deceiver religion. It simply is. Jesus is God, and these people just can't accept that and can't understand that. And to prove that Jesus is God, what did Jesus say to the apostles and stuff like that and the prophets when he was on earth? He said, before Abraham was I am. Jesus also said he is the Alpha and the Omega. You can't be the Alpha and Omega and not be God. It's not how it works. To be the Alpha means you were there at the beginning, and Omega would mean you're there at the end, or it's the other way round. So Jesus was there in the beginning, which proves he's God. So any religion that teaches that Jesus isn't God and that Jesus is just a prophet is a false religion, deception. Don't be deceived by the devil. The devil is a liar, and he's set up many religions to deceive people and lead them to hell. And it should be obvious that they promote a lot of nonsense as well. Because not once does Jesus ever say, worship me. Because again, he doesn't have to. Because Jesus is the expressed image of God. That's what a lot of other religions can't understand. They can't understand that that God can do anything. God can do anything. He can come down on this earth. And that's the laughable thing about that. That obviously they've never read the Old Testament. They've never read the Old Testament because the Old Testament says that God came down to Moses. So yes, God can have a physical body. He can do whatever he wants. He can have a physical body. He can be at multiple places at once. There's no limit to what God can do and what he can be. Well, that's what these other religions don't get. They want to limit God to their understanding. That's what they want to do. And welcome to the stream, and no problem. What is this? The title's about deception. And I'll just name the religion that I'm on about, and I'm not personally attacking anyone. This is my opinion. Islam is a false religion. It's as simple as that. It's a false religion. It teaches that Jesus was just a prophet, and they lower him and deny that he's the Son of God. They deny that. They deny that he was crucified, which is just nonsense. And also, the only thing that they teach that's the truth is, and it's kind of nonsense anyway, the Dajjal, the Antichrist, he has one eye, which further proves with the occults, the Illuminati. What is the logo of the Illuminati? A triangle, one eye. The Dajjal, or however it says, the Dajjal, whatever, has one eye and a mark on his forehead, hence mark of the beast. So that's the only thing that they got right. 2, there's multiple things, but this is how they deceive people. There is some truth, because again, if you knew anything, the Quran was copied from the Bible. That's a fact. And even in the Quran, it admits that the Bible's the truth. But the Bible says the exact opposite to their book. So as I said, it's not personal attack or anything like that. It's the research that I've done, and it's just nonsense what they believe. Jesus is God, whether these people like it or not. And that's how I knew that it was just a false religion. That's a massive red flag. When they're like, oh, because this is what it says in one of the books. It says, they did not crucify him. It just appeared to them like he was. So basically that they're saying that some alternate illusion reality was created, like some matrix illusion simulation hologram came on, and that nobody died on the cross. It was just an illusion, a simulation. Then they have to make up the excuse and say, oh, well, it was a doppelganger, somebody else was crucified on the cross. No, they weren't. There's documented evidence There is documented evidence by eyewitnesses that someone was crucified on the cross, and yet they deny it. That's how we knew it was a false religion. Straight up is. They deny the crucifixion, which is biblical history. And it's a proven fact in history. The Romans did it. They crucified people. They did it to a lot of people. They're like, oh, this didn't happen. Garbage. Also, again, we can get into many other things because that's where you got a lot of people coming out of Islam and going into Christianity because they're realizing this is nonsense. It really is. Saying that Jesus wasn't crucified and saying that he didn't die for people's sins. So then if he didn't die, then who died for anyone? Who died for people's sins then? No one. That's how you know it's just a load of crap. And they spread the nonsense. They spread the nonsense so much and think that people are actually going to believe it. When you actually examine and compare it to the Bible, you'll see it just falls apart. It doesn't make any sense. They just can't grasp that Jesus, God, can do anything. He can come down on earth, and he didn't sin because again he's God. There's only. Why do you think Jesus so many times was called holy? How can you be called holy if you're not God? He is holy. He's righteous. It also said that Jesus was there in the beginning. How can he be there in the beginning if he wasn't God? Make any sense, does it? Because he is God. He's part of the Father. People just can't grasp that. No human being on this face of the earth will ever understand or grasp the Godhead. It's impossible. Because we're human. We're human. Our consciousness is not on the level with God. So we'll never understand it. No one will. And welcome to the stream. So that's that. So again, you see this nonsense, man. Why they included this? So you see, they're trying to. I guarantee this symbol has absolutely nothing to do with this guy. They're just using this guy in the thumbnail, and then decide to put behind him a Illuminati logo. So they're involving some Muslim guy, and then deciding, hey, we're going to put the Illuminati behind it. And it says secret message, so as to say like, oh, the Illuminati. This is the very false teaching and the very deception that occults have been teaching. That, oh God, that basically the Illuminati have got some secret teachings. They haven't. The only secret teachings they've got is they believe that they're God, they can become a God, and they are the enlightened ones, the illuminated, the chosen ones, hence why they call themselves the Illuminati. That's what it means, enlightened. And they do all these rituals, these sex rituals and stuff like that, because they believe they can reach a certain state of consciousness and they can become a god. It's just nonsense. Not a single one of them become a god yet, because it's nonsense. That's what they believe. It's not some secret teachings, some hidden knowledge. It's crap. And that's why I'll continue to keep mentioning it. People that were actually doing these things and high up, Anton LaVey, he wrote a book. He said exactly what he did, the rituals and stuff like that. Believed that he could become a god, and then found out it was all crap. Because it is. It's just nonsense what the occults believe. They really do believe that Satan is God. They really do. And that's where Gnosticism gets it from. It's just another form of Freemasonry. Because what the Gnostics believe is the exact same thing that the Freemasons believe. The Freemasons believe in this demiurge, like there's many names for it, Jabalon, this creature with multiple heads, or a serpent. They call it the Grand Architect of the Universe. As I said, there's many names. In Islam, it's called the Dajjal, or the Dajjal, the Antichrist, with one eye. That's why it connects to the Illuminati and further proves who they worship. It's the Antichrist, and that's who they're awaiting, the Dajjal, that is going to set up a new world order and enslave people. That's the whole point of the new world order. Then we have this. This is from another Gnostic channel, another Gnosticism channel. The all-seeing eye, the opening of the third eye, I can become my own God, which is crap. Because you got to ask yourself, if anyone that this is an honest question, if people believe they can become a God by opening their third eye, why is no one living forever? That's what they believe, you can become a God. Why is no one living forever then that's practicing these things? Why did one of the Rothschilds die of old age? This proves it's nonsense. No one can become immortal. No one. Because no one's God. This body is meant to decay. It's not meant to be eternal. It probably would have been, but it was because of Adam, since the beginning of the Garden of Eden, because he decided to rebel, he decided not to listen to God, and partook of the forbidden tree knowledge, which the Gnostics and the Luciferians say that serpent was the good guy, that he just wanted people to basically be awake and gain knowledge and stuff like that. And it's deception and lies, because what does any of this stuff in the occult do for anyone? Nothing. Because it's all nonsense. It honestly is. So they're connecting all religions as well, because you see the star there, you see the Egyptian symbol. What has the Egyptians got to do with it? Because again, a lot of the Egyptians, you can just go look at, they used to worship serpents, they worshipped cats as well as gods. So we really going to listen to the Egyptians that worship animals as gods? That's what they believed. They worshipped, I mean, just look at the sun god Ra. He has a animal like a bird. It's just nonsense. It really is. They worship animals as gods. You're telling me, and there's also as well, there's many other religions, the Vikings, stuff like that. They made up their own version of God. This turkey, there's a name for it, I forgot what the name was. They say there's a turkey with a serpent body, a serpent tail, it has a human torso, and it's a god. Also, the Greeks believed in Zeus, believed in many fake gods. None of these are the true creator. There's only one true creator. This is the problem when you start going to other cultures and stuff like that. You'll find with other cultures and stuff like that, this is why it said the heathens make God in his own image. They do. Zeus. Zeus, Apollo, stuff like that, many names. None of them were gods. Most of them were fallen angels. Some of them were. So, because you see in the ancient Sumerian tablets, they had wings. The fallen angels that rebelled against God came on earth, and because people act like the Egyptians were some advanced technology nonsense. No, the fallen angels came down, taught man about these things, and they were wiped. The fallen angels were, we know where they are. God chained them up, is going to chain them up. Talks about angels that are chained up in the river Euphrates. That's what it says. Those that know. People also talk about the Antarctica, that there's most likely fallen angels chained up there. I'm not going to say that for a fact, but God has chained up these fallen angels that rebelled against him. You think he's just going to let them walk on the earth and do whatever they want? No, he's chained, because it even says that the angels that rebelled against God have been chained up. You see the nonsense again. This is Gnosticism. Marcion, which he was a heretic, he was a false prophet and a false teacher. You got multiple symbols of multiple religions. Then they got the serpent biting its own tail, which is a symbol of the occult. And then they got the Illuminati with a satanic six-pointed star. Because things like the Kundalini, and stuff like that, the Kabbalah, they're not of God. They really ain't. They all connect to the occult. I believe that. It was just, and that's where I got it from. I just see 1 hour something, it was from a video. So what else was it going to do? I completely forgot now. Well, that was it. That's what it was going to do. Because we're going to prove anyone that wants to deny, because there's people that deny this teaching. Angels, chain. This is biblical. This is what it says. So there's false teachers out there that deny this. We don't support that. So we're just going to ignore that. The concept of angels chained under the Euphrates River comes from the book of Revelation, where 4 angels described as powerful, rebellious spirits bound by God at the river Euphrates are released by the 6th angel to prepare for a massive destructive event in the end times, unleashing demonic forces, a vast army to kill a third of humanity, symbolizing God's control even over evil forces until his appointed judgment. Now you've actually got people that deny this, that say no angels rebelled against God. Well, if no angels rebelled against God, why is the 4 angels chained up? Explain that one. Explain why 4 angels are chained up if it didn't happen. Because there is people actually denying this and saying no angels rebelled against God. Oh, Satan never rebelled against God. The angels never rebelled against God. Fallen angels didn't rebel against God. You're literally lying and deceiving people and teaching contrary to what it says in the Bible. So this bot will go away soon, so just ignore them. The command, a voice from the altar tells the 6th angel to loose the 4 angels, so they're chained up. Angels who are bound in the great river Euphrates. To release something, you have to be bound. These are powerful, potentially demonic, angelic beings previously restrained by God. And it goes into detail in the book of Enoch what these things were doing. This is why it doesn't matter whether you believe in the book of Enoch or not, really doesn't matter, but these fallen angels rebelled against God. They came to man. I know it off by heart because I've read it that many times. They came down, started teaching men about enchantments, swords, makeup. I would do it. I mean, you'll just have to go look it up because I don't remember exactly, but it says that they taught them about makeup, which again the Egyptians started doing. They taught them about enchantments. They taught them about gold, silver, mining. They taught them about astrology, the signs of the stars and stuff like that, the moon and all that. They taught them about swords, weapons. They even say they told them about weapons of mass destruction. Let's see if we can find it. Angels Book of Enoch. Chapter 6. This is what it says. 200 angels sent to earth to observe humanity, but became corrupted, lusting after women, descending Mount Heron, and fathering giant offspring called the Nephilim, while also teaching forbidden knowledge like weapons and cosmetics, leading to widespread corruption, violence, and God's judgment via the flood. That's why they banned it. They banned the Book of Enoch because it exposes what the fallen angels were actually doing. I mean, watchers taught man. And we got proof of this. If you go to the ancient Egyptian Sumerian tablets, you'll see that there is something that looks like a nuclear bomb. Men were not supposed to have these weapons. No man was supposed to have this technology. What is the nuclear bomb? It's an atom. It's outside it's outside the earth. Atom is a form of energy. These are weapons of death that the fallen angels taught man. They admit they get this matter from outside. Well, they say they get it from outside the earth, which just we know how they get it, but it's a form of energy. It's these weapons. If you really believe that these weapons were that God wanted man to have these weapons, I mean, just even one of these nukes can wipe the entire face of the earth out. Man was not supposed to have these things. And some of the footage is fake anyway. I'm not gonna deny it. I mean, just go look at most of the nuclear weapons footage. The camera supposedly survived. There's not a shock blast. They say they put it behind glass in some basement, whatever. I mean, sure they did. About because it's just facts. It describes it in certain non-canonical religious texts, particularly the Book of Enoch. Watchers, fallen angels are described as having taught humanity various arts and technologies, including the creation of weapons and the working of metals. This is why they banned it. This is why they want you to say, oh, this isn't part of the Bible. Yeah, I wonder why, because then no man was supposed to have this technology. No, no way. They were not supposed to have it. And also, as well, a lot of these fallen angels that you see that fly around in these UFOs, the fallen angels. I've already made a video about that. This is not what I wanted. I did not want to go to AI. But the fallen angels taught man about the first atomic bomb. That's a fact. That is a fact. And most of the nuclear bomb footage as well is fake. So seriously, as you can just tell, it looks like model sets. So yeah, anyone denying that one as well as a false teacher, saying, oh, the fallen angels did not rebel against God, that's lies and deception. Just wanted to make sure the mic was still okay. So they taught them about medicine as well, because again, it said enchantments, didn't it? Craftsmen. What is a form of medicine? Witchcraft. Look at the word pharmacy, look at the word pharmaceutical. It derives from witchcraft. It's a witchcraft word. It means sorcerer. So again, the whole of humanity really has been deceived by sorcerer. Overwatches taught charms, spell, astrology, astronomy, and the cutting of roots and trees, medicine, and pharmacy. This is why they banned it from the Bible. They banned it for a reason, because it exposes too much. According to the Book of Enoch, the Watchers, specifically their leader Azrael, taught humans various arts and technologies. This is the head leader of the angels. Because there's not just one angels, because that's what people think. They think there's just Gabriel and there's just Satan. No. Satan was an angel at one form, and then he was kicked out, rebelled, because he was so prideful and rebelled against God. Satan has many names. Because it even says Satan was kicked out of heaven. Not yet. This is a thing that Christianity doesn't understand either. Satan hasn't been kicked out of heaven yet. Or he most likely has. Because it says, this is what it says in the scripture, that there was no place there was no longer a place in heaven for Satan. That means at one time, we've seen that in the book of Job, that God and Satan were having a conversation. When God has had enough of Satan, he gets kicked out of heaven and rules the earth. It's probably already happening now. As Satan's already taking control of the earth. It says he rules for about 1,000 years, while he's chained up for 1,000 years, and then he's loosed. This transfer of knowledge was seen as a transgression because it accelerated human corruption, leading to bloodshed, lawlessness, and immorality, which in turn prompted God to send the flood to cleanse the earth. That's why the earth was flooded, because there was Nephilim blood. God even said that in the and what further confirms this is the book of Noah, where Noah said, God, let us go see if there's actually good people on the earth. God said, all right then, Noah. God already knew. He knew the state of the earth. They had giants eating. They would have been eating humans. It says they were drinking blood. They were cannibals. What you saw, what was happening in the times of Noah was beyond evil. They were doing some of the most evil things on the face of the planet. It wasn't just sexual sin. It was far deeper than that. You were giant, literal giants. And if anyone wants to further deny that, why in the Bible is they a Israelite fighting a giant? Because the arm weren't wiped out. The bloodline continued. The corrupt bloodline still existed. We saw that. That's what the Nephilim are. The giants. They have corrupt DNA. They have like says they have like 7 fingers. And I think 7 toes. They grow up. Why do you think you got people growing to like 9 foot tall and they don't stop growing? It's the Nephilim DNA. It really is. And what they promote in movies is the truth. Where do you think they got Jack and the Beanstalk from? They got it from the Bible. Jack and the Beanstalk, that's what the giants were like. Cannibals. They were against birds, they were against animals, they didn't care. Same in they show it in the Lord of the Rings as well. Giants, they did exist. They were the Nephilim bloodline, corrupting the earth. They had this demonic bloodline. They create this satanic offspring, and God wiped them right out. I mean, why do you think God had to flood the earth? Because there was most of the people on the earth were corrupt. They all had demonic DNA. Why would you let fallen angel DNA exist? You couldn't. And the fallen angels, I want to show that as well, because it doesn't matter if it's real or not. Is that I found it kind of Russian angel statue farm. Don't know whether this is true, but this is how big the angels would have been. It says the angels are terrifying things. We see. This looks very too real. This very well could be real or fake. Don't matter, but this thing, people have even made videos that it looks like this thing is frozen in time. How long have we been doing this anyway? About 58 minutes. Just wanted to make sure. And I appreciate anyone in here, honestly though. Thank you for anyone who doesn't know what time it is. Well, I just find it interesting. That's obviously a statue. You see the difference. That's a statue. This one here doesn't look like a statue. It looks like an actual fallen angel. And they found it underground. Now, doesn't it say that these fallen angels are they're bound, which a bound could mean anything. Could mean that they've got a spell over them, or they're chained up. Most likely chained up spiritually, these spiritual chains. They're not normal chains that you see on earth. No way. They're spiritual. That's why they can't get away. Because it would make perfect sense. Why would God just allow these fallen angels to just wreak havoc? No. He's chained them up, and then is going to release them, and then they're going to wreak havoc. Because it even says in the end times, this is a time when Satan has his reign for a short time. Because what does it say in the book of Revelation? It says the devil and his angels. So that proves So if there's any Christian out there that's in doubt that, oh, this is just nonsense, what the Book of Enoch teaches, the Book of Revelation confirms that the angels rebelled. It confirms that the Book of Enoch's true. Because the angels came down, rebelled against God, done all these wicked things. These angels won't be forgiven because they rebelled against the Creator. They knew what they were doing was wrong and did it anyway. Because it says they willfully made a contract. They say that in the Book of Enoch. They say they willfully made a contract and they know the repercussions for doing this, and they did it anyway. So they willfully did it, so God's going to punish them along with the devil. Now, this very might well be a fallen angel that's frozen in time. Because God can do anything. God can freeze these things in time. He can make them turn into stone. God can do anything. What did God do in the Bible to somebody that was mocking another race? What did he do? He turned their skin white like snow. Because they were mocking other people. So God said, right, I'll turn your skin to white snow. It says that in the Old Testament. They started mocking. Like, haha, we're better than you. And so God went, we'll just turn your skin into snow then, won't we? See how prideful you are now. Because that's the thing as well. Anyone that goes around promoting racism is not of God. Simple as that. God made it very clear right there. He ain't supporting it. He turned that Pacific person's skin white like snow. Because they were prideful. So yeah, very interesting this is. Very interesting. And it was found in Siberia, which is in Russia. Very interesting. It's very old though. Well, I only came across it recently. So it's supposed to be a fallen angel. That's what it's supposed to be. It's what they found in Russia. And it's taller than man. Which makes sense. This angel, even though it's kneeled down. So imagine this fallen angel when it stood up. Imagine when. Well, people have said it's terrified. That it looks terrified. You just see it's got a sword there. So it's got a sword. Looks too real. It honestly doesn't. It's decaying away. It looks too real. It really does look way too real to be a statue. And people have even said this. It looks way too real to be a statue. It may just be a statue. I'm not going to say it might not be, but in my opinion, it looks like a fallen angel. It honestly does. It looks like a fallen angel that rebelled against God, and I mean, look, does this look like a statue? To me, it doesn't. Because a lot of these fallen angels rebelled against. Now, it would make sense. Say this is, I'm not saying for a fact, but let's just say this angel was on the earth, this fallen angel. Let's just say this fallen angel was on earth when the flood happened, and that's why it's underground. The earth got flooded, and it froze this fallen angel, and they ended up underground. Because if you look, a lot of the buildings that you see today were actually above the ground. The reason they're underground, that's why they say, oh, the city's under the ocean. There was most likely stuff on these buildings, so-called buildings, were above the level. We've seen sea levels rise and stuff like that. God wiped out the earth with the flood. So obviously all these buildings and stuff like that that are under the ocean, people probably live there. But it's not what they say in the movies where, oh, there's people, the city of Atlantis, people are just living underground, underwater. It's nonsense. But it does look like a fallen angel. It honestly does. I found it interesting. I don't know if there's any more. We'll just put, because I'm going to be ending it soon because it's getting late. Fallen angel statue found. So yeah, it always seems one. I mean, just look how tall it is. And they look way too detailed to be, like, there's even one, I think, where, I think it's this one, where it looks like well, this isn't one of them, but there was one where it was like the thing was bleeding. Probably is a fallen angel. Honestly, probably is. Because again, a lot of Christians, there is some that deny this, which you're literally denying the Bible if you're saying that. So you see, this is supposedly, now if it was underground, underwater, makes sense. I'm just seeing if there's any more. So you got shocking statue discovered, fallen angel statue in Russian. In Russia has connection with Euphrates River. I mean, if there you go. If that's true. If it is proven to be connected to the Euphrates River, then this is one of the fallen angels. What people have said, is it frozen in time? I mean, I guess we'll find out, won't we? Well, look at it. It looks too real. No, that's not what I wanted. It looks too real. This is not a statue. There's no way this is a statue. The clothing looks too real. There is no way you can get this amount of detail on a statue. So yeah, it probably is. Probably real. But yeah, I'm going to be ending it here because it is getting late now. Appreciate everyone that came to live stream and supported it. It means a lot. Just wanted to get this video out of the way, and as the title said, do not be deceived by these false teachers and stuff like that. And anyone that, how to know someone is a deceiver straight away. If the prophecy and something doesn't happen, then it's false. And that's why I said we'll find out tomorrow who the false prophets are. So yeah, I'll catch everyone in live stream. I don't know whether I'll do the video tomorrow. Honestly, don't know. I really don't know. I'll see you in the next live stream whenever I can do one. Take care.